Hello, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is JC. Today, I'm going to have another installment of the Rockefeller success stories. So without further ado, let's get started. To get wealthy, have a purpose beyond getting wealthy. I know of nothing more despicable and pathetic than a man who devotes all the hours of the waking day to the making of money for money's sake. The man who starts out simply with the idea of getting rich won't succeed. You must have a larger ambition. John D. Rockefeller. From the time he was a young man, Rockefeller wanted to become wealthy, and he was certainly driven at times in his career by simple avarice. But importantly, his motivation in building his empire did not rest solely on the desire to be rich, but was rather undergirded by satisfactions and purposes outside the acquisitive. First, he simply enjoyed his work, enjoyed the identity, autonomy, and challenge it presented. In his first job as a bookkeeper, he toiled from dawn till late in the evening, not only to impress his superiors, but because the work was delightful to me. All the method and system of the office. While others found ledger books dreary and dry, John D. found them inexhaustibly interesting. He loved poring over the figures, putting them in order, ferreting out errors, making sense of the data. In all his positions throughout his career, he always found something new to learn and to seek to improve. The zest of the work, he said, is maintained by something better than the mere accumulation of money. As Rockefeller moved up in the world, he worked not just for the sake of his inherent satisfactions, nor only to make more money, but rather had his eye on two larger purposes. First, he wanted to pioneer a new way of doing business. The oil industry was full of investors seeking immediate results, speculators who hoped to hit a gusher and become instantly wealthy. These startups had a short-term perspective that created a path of destruction, both in the economy and the natural landscape they gutted in search of black gold. Rockefeller had a different vision for what the oil industry could become, one built on a long-term perspective, and a desire to create something sustainable and lasting. In helping to develop the principles of vertical and horizontal integration and the structure of the trust, he sought to bring organization and stability to the chaotic industry, and in so doing, created the mold of the modern corporation. His goal was nothing less than an economic revolution, one he believed would benefit the nation as a whole. As Rockefeller explained his aim, "I had no ambition to make a fortune. Mere money making had never been my goal. I saw a marvelous future for our country, and I wanted to participate in the work of making our country great. I had an ambition to build." Of course, not everyone felt that this new way of doing business was a good thing, but Rockefeller himself earnestly believed it was a benevolent pursuit. He saw his life's greatest work as stabilizing industry, creating jobs, and bringing down the price of kerosene and then gasoline, thus making it affordable and accessible to the masses. What added to Rockefeller's sense of purpose in building his industrial empire was that the more money he made, the more he could give away. As a boy, his mother had always encouraged him to put some of his pocket change in a collection plate at church, and the philanthropic impulse never left him, and only grew along with his wealth. In his first year as a bookkeeper, while earning a salary that barely allowed him to get by, Rockefeller gave around 6%, and sometimes more, of his income to charity. By the time he was 20, he was consistently giving over 10%. Young Rockefeller was economically in his giving, donating not just to his church and to individual congregants in need, but to a mission in the notorious Five Point district of NYC, a Catholic church, and in a move that was fairly unusual for the time, to charities that aided African Americans. In later life, he founded great, ambitious undertakings, including universities, medical research institutes, black schools in the South, and health campaigns around the globe. By the time of his death, he had given away almost $540 million. Rockefeller saw wealth accumulation like any other vocation or calling, saying, "I believe the power to make money is a gift from God, just as are the instincts for art, music, literature, the doctor's talent, the nurse's, yours, to be developed and used to the best of our ability for the good of mankind. Having been endowed with the gift I possess, I believe it is my duty to make money and still more money, and to use the money I make for the good of my fellow man according to the dictates of my conscience." Paradoxically enough, wealth often comes as a kind of byproduct of the pursuit of other goals, rather than from the pursuit of it itself. And having purposes over and above the mere attainment of money is arguably part of what facilitated Rockefeller's success. His greater goals fostered a deeper motivation and a more long-term perspective, rather than myopically chasing immediate results. He was able to focus on building something lasting. This is very inspiring and also very it's worthwhile to learn. So making money is very important to sustain your own life and also your family and for the greater good of the community. But also the other important thing is that making money teaches you how to be self-disciplined and to be self-reliant. So I think it is very important to learn how to make money. And this is why I'm making this series of the Rockefeller success stories or Rockefeller habits, so we can all learn from how Rockefeller became so successful. And if you can master at least say maybe 1%, if not 10% of the Rockefeller success habits, then I believe you can be also very successful. So I think that's the meaning I want to convey throughout this series of this videos. And I hope that you and I will both learn a lot from this Rockefeller stories. So tomorrow I'm going to share another installment of the Rockefeller success habits, and then we can keep learning and keep growing and become a better version of ourselves and become super successful. So that's it for today. And today is Christmas, and if you're Christian or maybe not Christian, but if you celebrate Christmas, then happy Christmas to you. And if not, then happy holidays. And I look forward to share more videos and wish you all the best and all the success.